strong muscle man. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everybody.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yep, it's on.
Are you on there, Chad? You are on there. There you go. Yep, this one. Talk again so I can tell if I can hear you. Good morning. Attaboy, thank you, appreciate it. Okay, we'll call the regular meeting to order. I'm looking for a motion that the minutes of the previous meeting be accepted as presented. So moved. Second. You call for a motion, please.
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. North,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro, Mr. Gotwald, Mr. Weaver.
Right. Looking for a motion that the jail report for December 2022 be accepted as presented. Yes. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. North,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Mr. Gotwald, Mr. Weaver.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, looking for a motion that the prisoner transport report for December be accepted as presented. So. Second. Call for vote, please, Karen?
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. North,
Yeah.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Mr. Gotwald,
Yep.
Mr. Weaver.
All right, looking for a motion that the financial report for January 2021 be accepted as presented. Should that be? Okay. Thanks, Chad. Who first? Call for vote, please, Karen.
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. North,
Yeah.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Mr. Gotwald, Mr. Weaver.
Right. Looking for a motion that the intermediate punishment report for December 21 be accepted as presented. All right, call for a vote, please.
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. North,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Mr. Gotwald, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you. Again, we are looking for a motion that the restrictive intermediate punishment drug and alcohol program report for December 2021 be accepted as presented.
Run again.
Yeah. All right, call for a vote, please, on that, Karen.
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. North,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro.
Yeah.
Mr. Gotwald.
Yes.
Mr. Weaver.
Thank you. Old business. Anything old business? I didn't have anything written down in the last meeting. So. Short and sweet. Got any old business, Chad?
I have nothing.
Okay. Well, then we'll go to new business.
Yes, under new business, I'd like to bring up, I met with you and Scott about some other issues, and there was some discussion made, and I talked to the judge, talked to the Dustin. Sam met with Dustin. I guess kind of the agreement that the jail would supply one guard to work with a deputy for the transports in need for medical.
Okay, so, right, we was to have a meeting though. You, with the judge, you said you was gonna have that meeting, so we've not been involved in that meeting when you met with the judge.
I didn't know he was having a meeting. I know Sam went up and talked with Dustin at the jail. I talked to him on the phone, and then Sam went up and talked to him, I guess
It was the same day.
working out the logistics to everything. And he said he could be ready by the first of the month, so that was where we were at on that. That's the email I sent out. The on-call deputy switches over on Friday, the 28th, that we can start working with the jail at that time.
Okay, well, and just so we're all aware though, there was an email that you sent out that you said we was all gonna get together and have a meeting.
Oh, well,
I
that's,
called Dustin and got Ruthers on things right away, so I had some facts. And I guess,
I guess I'll have to reread my email. Maybe I misrepresented that we were having a meeting. I just,
it came to Scott, I believe. I don't know that Jeff was even.
it should have went to all three, the judge,
Yes, they would.
Moon,
Dustin, yeah, I got it.
Sam got it. And there was no replies from anybody, so I just figured everybody read it and that was it.
That's not the meeting. Yeah, but the thing is, just in fairness, Carl, we're talking about the meeting to decide how we was gonna do this. You know, your email was that you wanted, before there was a final decision, which however that went, that you wanted to have a meeting with the commissioners, with Dustin, with the judge, Sam, and yourself. That's how it was stated. So
I guess I'll have to reread it.
it's prior to that.
Well,
one.
that's, it's what,
It's prior to the one that he probably has a copy of right here.
I don't have anything.
I didn't
Yeah,
do
I mean-
anything with me. I had just sent out that thing saying that we'd like to start it on the 28th.
Yeah, I know the jail's position. Exactly what Sam and I, you and I talked about. I mean, I went over the same exact thing, the concerns and everything, but the agreement and stuff, I went over with Commissioner Buller. So I mean, our position hasn't changed on anything that we've said. I just gotta know what we need to do and what we need to get ready. And
We're getting some more people. Yeah, trained up on some stuff, but.
so if it does go forward, then, you know, we'll at least be ready to go, but we just need to know what to do and we'll do it.
You tell me what you want to do.
Well,
I think a sit down meeting with everybody would be a good idea. So we
I
can.
think we have to do that.
That's fine. I mean,
Well, that
I
decision
didn't,
number
I
one
wasn't
is
sure
with the
that I had.
commissioner.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
That
we're
decision
not-
should
yeah.
have been with the sheriff or the deputy sheriff.
Right.
That should have been with the four of us.
Well, that's what I spoke to him right after, like, I let him know.
It should have been first.
Well, you weren't here
Because that would have to do with staffing and.
It has a lot, that's what I'm saying, the
So-
logistics of it, there's
Yeah.
a lot to go into it. That's why I think the meeting would be a good, initial start.
You're right, I was on vacation.
Yeah, Herb saw me at breakfast and asked me to come down. And there's several other things discussed too. That was just one of them.
We decide to set that.
Yes, I think we, Chad, you can hear us okay, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I think we do have to have the judge, I think everybody has to get together and discuss this.
Well, I talked to you two that day and then I went up and talked with the judge in his office. He just told me to discuss it with Dustin. That was his position on it at that time. Could have changed or whatever, you know.
So the judge just told you to talk to Dustin.
Yeah, he said just, because I figured that's where it would end up anyway, was on his desk, so I just went up and talked to him.
Okay.
And then he said, just talk to Dustin and work it out or whatever. So that's what we did.
Yes, I mean, I think everybody was informed of what everybody was asking for. It's just, like you said, we all need to just sit down together and go over everything.
Iron out some of the details.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say it's here that the judge didn't receive that email. I got it, it bounced back for some reason whenever I put in the JF, his email pops up and I clicked on it. And here it just said jfordor@jeffersoncounty.com. There was no PA in there and it bounced back. So he did not get that email. So he doesn't, other than my discussion with him that day, he didn't get the email that you guys got. It did bounce back.
And it's my understanding, I believe, as per when I talked to Dustin, Taser Your guys are all taser trained, correct?
No, they're getting it. They're in the process. We started
Okay.
training them, but there's quite a few that need to go through that training. But we do have an instructor up there. We also have an instructor course coming up here in, I think, March.
March 23rd, I think that's what we
End of
scheduled
March.
for the fairground.
Chad, is there a way that you could tell us, what would be good to get on the judge's schedule for probably a half hour, I would assume?
Yeah, I think first,
Okay,
sure, what do you want to carve out for that? So,
okay,
let me get everybody on an email here this afternoon.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just table that for a few minutes?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right, any other new business?
Houston.
I was just gonna bring up about the taser training.
Yeah.
Just discussed it, so.
We're trying to get ahead of the curve. I think it's better to be prepared in case something does. Sit and wait till the last second.
All right, and I will just ask, though, it's my understanding that the jail has been involved in transports through the air or meets.
Yeah, the sheriff, like if we have if we have an ambulance call or something like that with somebody going out, our officer will initially go with the ambulance until the sheriff's department arrives. Then when they arrive, they relieve the officer and the officer goes back to the jail.
They usually just ride back to the ambulance.
Yeah, they just ride back with the ambulance and then come back to work.
It's all because by ambulance, or they would just stay there.
It has,
You ride
yeah,
back.
that's cut down drastically. thankfully.
Okay. All right, let's go, I guess now, any other new business? Anything on the work relation you want to let us know about? Is it all good right now?
Yeah, today. Yeah, today it's running well.
Sam, what was?
We have been hitting this with the COVID here and there, but it's usually just one or two. Go down, shut down the work release program, do the quarantine period, and then we start it back up.
And vaccinations for those people, what's,
All they do, they go through medical. If they are requesting a vaccination, we get in contact with Means and Law, and Means and Law comes up and provides the vaccination for them.
We're having issues now again with the state transports again. Sam, maybe you can give us some updates on that, shutting it down again.
Seems like the DOC is they've suspended in-person visitation at the Department of Corrections for all of them across the board for a month. I scheduled with SCI Muncie today, and they informed me, which I've been hearing through the grapevine, that the DOC is going to go for 2 weeks, starting this week and next week, not accepting any new inmates at this time. So I think they're blaming staffing, they're blaming the high rise, everything they can do.
Didn't that just open yesterday? Back to transports? Because they were shut down, I believe it was till the 24th.
Yeah, they've been switching it around as far as scheduling and how they're making arrangements with them. Muncie's been the best one to deal with, but I think they're reamping everything right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go longer than 2 weeks. To be honest with you, I think they're really hitting hard right now, and so just to give everybody a heads up that I'm trying to schedule as best I can, but I have all the males should be taken out of here pretty soon, and then the females should be also transported after the 2 weeks I'm scheduled for right now. So, but so everybody's aware of the DOC is definitely starting to shut back down again. So.
Hey, Herbie, can I interrupt for a second? I gotta jump. I just wanted to let you know, Judge replied to me. He said, he's not gonna have a meeting on this matter. It's between, the sheriff, the jail, and yourself.
okay,
And then if the agreement can't be worked out, then.
so we'll get attorneys and we'll get in front of the judge, is that what you're thinking? All right, thanks, Chad. Okay,
You guys, see you guys.
yep. All right.
There went Jeff.
All right, anything else? Next meeting of the Jefferson County Jail Inspection and Intermediate Punishment Board will be held February 22nd, 2022 at 12 p.m. in a large conference room at the Jefferson Place, 155 Main Street, second floor, Brookville, PA 15825. How about questions from the press?
We're saying about the state and so they're holding in-person visitations and that, are you guys planning on doing anything like that here?
We've been running video visitation for quite a while now. We're gonna continue with that process. It's all done either remotely, and we also have 2 kiosks at the jail. If somebody needs to come up and do a video visitation with someone, they can do it right there at the jail. But there's no face-to-face visitation. We haven't had that for roughly about a year now.
So you've been learning as I go here, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the thing that you guys are still working out with as far as the jail supply, that's just somebody, or if there's an emergency, the sheriff department wants to,
Like a medical transport, that way there's 2 personnel there and stuff.
Okay. so you guys would just be sending somebody along?
Yeah,
with them?
we're pretty much helping each other on that aspect. You know, they're short-staffed, we run into short staffs every once in a while too, and trying to.
Work through it all.
I couldn't hear what Chad said, so is the judge, is this gonna go before the judge, this,
No, the judge says he was not gonna be involved in.
oh, okay, I thought that's what he said, but it was so hard to hear, so.
Yeah, and then I was messing with him, so I'm probably.
Oh, well, then, I got that part. Thank you.
So, all right, I guess we'll look for a motion.
Second. Just quick on
All right, thanks, everybody.
Yep, I just let you know what.
That was better than mine.
that. Was you gonna wanna set up a meeting with all of us?